In our previous discussion in sociological self, I gave you a preview or I spoke about the I self and the me self. Okay, and I hope that you remember that. Basically, William James proposed something similar to what we have discussed in that discussion. Okay, so it would be worth it to take another look at it. So, William James is known as the father of American psychology. He has a great contribution to the field of psychology in the United States. And according to him, there are two sides of the self, the me self and the I self. And now let's take a look at his perspective and how do these two differ with each other. According to William James, the I self is the subjective self that is aware of its own actions. So it's describing yourself using the word I or from your own perspective. It's the I from within, okay, describing yourself using your own perspective. Okay, so what are the features of the I self? So if you use the I self, you're capable of the following. So the first one is that the I self gives you a sense of being the agent or initiator of behavior. So let's compare that with the me self. Say, for example, choosing a course in college. Let's compare the I self and the me self. So the me self may say something like, my parents want me to study this course. But when you use the I self, you would say that I really want to study this course. So now, if you use the I self, you have the responsibility over your own behavior. You realize that you're the one who make choices and others are not the one who's going to make choices for you. So with the eyes up, you realize that we are capable of making choices for our own lives and that we are responsible over these choices instead of saying that your choice is the product of other people's choices. Next, the I self gives you a feeling of being unique. So the I self gives you the capability to say that unlike other people, I am blank. I like math. I like studying. I like reading books. Unlike other people who are, who have negative attitudes towards a certain profession, I think that they are not that bad. Okay? Unlike other people, I think, I feel, I believe. So that's the I self. Other than that, the I self gives a sense of continuity. So it allows you to have one continuous identity. So when we say continuity, you know that the self doesn't change. Who you are yesterday is still who you are now. It doesn't mean that you don't evolve, but rather, it doesn't mean that you have a new identity every day. Okay? With a sense of continuity, you have the capability to remember what happened in the past and connect them with what's happening in the present. For example, you have the capability of saying that I remember that yesterday I did this, that's why now I'm doing this. I remember that when I was a child, I was taught by my parents that I must be respectful to adults. That's why right now I am being respectful to adults. And that's about being continuous from the past to the present. We should also have a sense of awareness. So when we say a sense of awareness, the I self is capable of telling where he is, who he is, and what is the time. Okay, he is aware. Is it morning? Is it afternoon? Is it the night? So if you're aware, what do you feel? What do you think? Okay, are you conscious about what you're doing? Okay, so that's one capability of the I self. Okay, because sometimes when we rely so much on me self, you just behave in a way that other people want you to behave. So typically we redirect the thinking of our clients by saying that, for you, what do you think? That's what they think, right? But in your own perspective, okay, what can you say about this or that? Okay, so that is for the I self. Now let's talk about the me self. The me self is the self that is an object or the self that you can describe. So this is from the perspective of others or the more objective self. Okay, so according to William James, there are three perspectives of the me self. The first one can be the material. Okay, so they think of me as smart, they think of me as handsome, they think of me as helpful, okay, as they think of me as fit. Okay, okay, so that's the material self. Okay, and next is the social self. They think of me as friendly, they think of me as someone who knows how to behave well in social situations. They think of me as a helpful individual. And lastly, we also have the spiritual self, or describing yourself when it comes to personality, character, and values. Okay, so that's the I self and the me self. So be conscious. How does your me self differ in comparison with your I self? Okay, and which is more helpful to you? Sometimes we have to strike a balance between behaving in a way that others want us to behave, and behaving in a way that we think would be the best for us. Okay?